2018 Buick LaCrosse, dealing with thermostat. And I just want to reverse engineer what I got going on. I have not pulled the thermostat out yet because when I looked at the labor time, it did say 1.5 hours, and then it said another 4 hours, depending on if you do the entire thermostat. But so 4 hours if you do the thermostat, which comprise of this entire pipe assembly here, which requires the removal of the intake. I'm not doing that. It's too much work. So logically, I was going to just pull that thermostat off itself, separate this, and just use the thermostat. The pipe is going to be fine. It's metal. It's not plastic or anything. So that's the plan. I'm going to remove the thermostat, and looking at it from the top, like you don't have enough room. But I was like, I swear to you, if I pull this mount off, this front mount, not the front mount, but the right side motor mount and bracket, this is 18 millimeters, 13 and 18 here on the side. Got those out. I have enough room to slide it through here. Look at that. I should just be able to lift up the motor. Lift up the thermostat and pull it out. That's the plan. So we're going to try that. Let me just tell you what I got off first. I got the air box, which in the cover, this right here, a T30 and a 10 millimeter. It's T30 here, T30, 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 and oil fill cap, 10 millimeter, somewhere down there, 10 millimeter right there. Got that off, and the only thing left, this insulation was breaking here, to be honest. This is just real life. Nothing's perfect. I'm gonna slid this back. I gotta pull this pipe, this bolt down for the pipe. I'm gonna pull that out, and I should be able to drain the coolant. I'm gonna move it back and forward, slide it out, and then we'll see about pulling this thermostat. I swear to you, this looks like I can do it within the labor time. So if the labor guide says an hour and a half, I typically can do that a little bit over half the time. So right at an hour if it's an hour and a half. And so far I've been working on this, it ain't take long. Pull the computer out, 13 millimeter bolt here, 10 millimeter. That 13 millimeter was for that bracket, for that mount right here. I didn't mention that. It's a 13 millimeter here. So I've been talking long enough. It's been 3 minutes now. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up, get you a good view. And we're going to try to work on getting this thermostat out. I cleaned my area with some brake cleaner, blew it off a little bit I could. I'm going to hit it again. And I got a pan down here. So I'm going to let that capture what I can. Strain and drain the coolant out of my pail and recycle it. This car doesn't have that many miles on it. I don't know how well it's going to capture it, but I'm going to remove that pipe out the back here. If I can get the camera. All right, I think I can capture it pretty well. I'm going to remove the pipe here out the back and try to capture the coolant. I took that 10 millimeter out. Okay, coolant's coming out. Oh shit, oh gosh. Coolant started draining on the passenger side. Oh gosh, it's just making a mess. I got two pans under there. I think I just might let it drain slow. We'll see what happens. But it started draining on the passenger. I do have it elevated and it's lifted up on the passenger side, so it has a downward slope going to the driver's side. All right, I'm impatient. Let me see how far. I think I got it out. I feel like I can move it that much. Let me show you. pipe is out. So that's plenty of room. So the next thing, I'm gonna remove them 2 bolts at the top of the thermostat, and then pull it out, see what happens. I do believe once I get that one out, there's another one in the side there. It seems like I'm right on time with the labor guide, and even for myself. I think I can get this out. It's not bright, but all right, so we're gonna expect more coolant. So far it's looking like it's gonna work. I'm gonna lift it up and out. Hopefully I shouldn't have to remove anything else. Cross my fingers. I should use a swivel. This is me being lazy. Laziness pays off though. I've been dealing with coolant issues with vehicles for the past 3 consecutive days. Jobs definitely do come in clusters. Definitely do. We're gonna get that 1 bolt in the back, and I shouldn't have to remove anything else. What I'll do, like the last video when I had the failed water pump on the Chevy, and it's just Chevys too. I wanna put some dielectric grease on the housing so it'll slide on there easy. Depending on how that seal look, I'm not gonna replace it. If it looks decent, I'm gonna leave it alone. Those O-rings typically don't fail like that, but I'm not saying this will. This is my first time doing one of these. The labor guide didn't explain anything in regards to the method I'm using, so I don't even know if it's gonna work or not. All right, got the other bolt out, and it came with the sleeve. Let's see if it lift up. Looked like I had plenty of room. Let's pull that pipe back. Okay. 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 Oh shoot! No, darn it! Gosh darn it! So I'm about to pull these top lines out. Gosh darn it. I mean, I'm gonna see if I can twist it. Nope. If that line wasn't there, it'll come out. Let me, I think I can just take this. Can I just take one out? Let me take this one. I don't know if you can see that 10 millimeter. Pull that out. Let's see what happens. I haven't had the best of luck today, but we're gonna find out. Things turn around. Darnation. So there's a coolant line down there. Let's see if I lift up on it. Am I still hitting anything else? Yeah, it's still hitting that line. Is there another one? Yeah, there's another one right here. Pull that other line out. I don't know if you can see this one. Gosh darn it. I imagine this rubber hose should just lift right on up. So, there's a coolant temperature sensor down there too. So if you follow this sub harness over, look like you'll see there's this connector here. I'm gonna pull this off, and I should be able to relax this line for the coolant temperature sensor. Okay, I got that. Oh shoot. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. I just lift up on the Christmas tree, it just sits in the block. I don't know if I can move it over and show you. Let me see if I can. There it go, right there. Just lift up on it. That Christmas tree. It connects to the head. Let me see if I can slide it up now. Let me get a pair of little nose. Yeah, lift up on it, ain't doing anything. I don't need that much. I just need to get out. Why is this thing so difficult to come out? Let me try prying it up this way. Come up. I think I got it out. Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, that don't sound good. Dang, like right there at it. This other one gotta come up. Oh no. Let's see. Want to check that seal on here. It looks okay. I can't see that much. But it looked like it's hitting the other one too. So if I pull this up, I should have enough room to pull it straight out. I think. Why not though? I wish. Just that small bottom piece. If I can flip it around. It's just that lower part, man. It's getting on my nerves. Pulling out this other line here, top. Hopefully that'll give me enough room. I'm just trying not to have to pull off this intake. This should work. It just logically, it just looked like it should work with a little bit of finagling. Let's see if I can get this out. These O-rings look okay. Wish me luck. Am I hitting the, what am I hitting? I took the cover off. Hopefully this will make a difference. Hopefully. It's just like right there. Oh wow, I got it. Shucks, I just had to force it up. What I might do, I mean, it's a little risque, but I mean, I don't know if the aftermarket one is going to be smaller. Typically they are, but I mean, maybe polish the sides of it to get like a millimeter of clearance will help. I got it out. Hopefully this is a little smaller. Hopefully. Check that seal. Well, I got plenty of room to get my fingers down in there. Seal feels okay. Push this back up. Yeah. I'm gonna change the seal. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Let me show you what that looks like. Pull that. I would have got it off if I could find my long pick. Got it off. Here's the new one. So slide it on here. There we go. All right, it's on there. I'm still gonna put my dielectric grease on it. There's a coolant temperature sensor. I didn't break anything, thank goodness. All right, I got the new one. I'm gonna see if I can remember how to put this back in there, and we should be good. Now, I'm still gonna put a little bit of dielectric grease in here so it'll slide on that pipe a little easier. I don't know if this is like a sealant, the stuff that's on here, so it might not be a good idea. Maybe I can just use coolant. Let's see if I can get it back in there. It looked like the seal should just slide on pretty easy. I'll just use coolant. We're just gonna put a little bit in there. Ouch! Ooh, it cut me. Damn, that's sharp. I'm gonna be bleeding. See if I can remember how to do this. Like I say, aftermarket typically are smaller. Typically, when they manufacture them. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I got it. Let me show you. All right. So this is the way. Seems like it's gonna go in there. I'm gonna pull it back out. I think I can mimic it. All right. Like that, and then straight down. I mean, it has to be perfect too. Then I can switch it around. I'm in there, just not. Down in there. me pull that hose. If I pull the pipe further back, maybe I can angle it. Let me pull the pipe back. Cause I did pull it up, so I'm gonna change that. See what happens. Okay, I can flip it. All right, there we go. Then I'm gonna go back. Perfect. Oh yeah, awesome. All right, I got it. That, honestly, I didn't edit it. That was like 60 seconds, so I think, so yeah, we're good. So it can be done without pulling the intake off. Whew. Golly. All right, what I'm gonna do, let me get everything put back in reverse order. And it was pretty much self-explanatory. The few items that you saw me pull off was no more than a flathead, 10 millimeter, 18 millimeter, 13 millimeter, that's it. That was it. So the hard part is getting it out. And I've shown and I've demonstrated, if you do it just right by angling it, you can get it in there. And I feel comfortable, actually, I could probably just pull it back out and put it back in there, but that should have been worthwhile. We saw me extract it, we saw me reinstall it, so I think that's good. Let me show you the finished product. All right, got my pipe pulled through. That was very simple and easy. All I did was just slide it right on in there and just, yeah, you know. So I'm putting the bolt, the 10 millimeter bolt, back in the lower. Pull apart that bracket there. And I'm just gonna put everything back up, put the cover back on. And let's see, here it goes that way. Uh-oh, yeah, I gotta figure out this insulation thing here. Let me work on this. Okay, there we go. The map sensor. Put those screws back in there. They have little ridges in there. That's pretty interesting. Alright, get those started. I can run those down. This is a T25, but I got looks like I got a T20 on here. I got lazy. I think this is have a loose fit, but got that on there. I'm gonna put the air box back on. What I could do, just pour water down all in there and just let it drain out. And I don't want the coolant, the odor to, the vapors to emit. So I can just dilute it with water. The connector back for this temperature sensor. There. All right. All right, everything's knocked out. I'm gonna do the first startup, and then I'm gonna look back over my work and make sure nothing's leaking. I do have coolant in there. It hasn't really quite gone through yet. I just poured a gallon in it. While this is doing what it's going to do, I'm going to show you the PID data and show you the reason as to why I replaced the thermostat while the coolant circulating is trying to. And we'll give it a minute. So while it's doing its thing, let me show you what I had to. Let's right here, what I had to resolve. Let's go. Here, I need to go to my gallery. So the code that I was resolving was a P0128, P0480. And what I'm going to tell you, this is a screenshot. So the code P0128 would manifest because the car can't sustain its normal temperature. Typically, I want to say, don't hold me on it, but I should be over, this thermostat is 220 degrees, but it should be over 180 degrees to sustain closed loop. The code came with the freeze frame data, it was 176 degrees. Now what happened when the P0128 comes up, the coolant temperature will drop to 0, to cold. The fans will start blaring, and you likely may get this code here, P0480. So, and it depends on the code setting criteria for those fans. And I think these two are just synonymous because temperature drops, fans cuts on, and they, depending on if it still go through like a testing protocol, and then the cooling fan circuit's gonna generate a code. So now we'll say when I was diagnosing this, I was simply just watching the coolant temperature at idle. During idle, the coolant temperature will go up to 200 and close to 220 degrees, 220, and within that, the temperature would sustain itself, but once you rev it up, the temperature would drop and reduce. So likely what's happening, you know, I was thinking the thermostat maybe was sticking and staying open. But it don't look like it's open or anything. But what happened, this thermo spring here, it could fail and open prematurely. And I guess once it opens prematurely, it's not going to hold its temperature because the coolant is just circulating through the heat exchanger or the radiator, and it's not being properly regulated by that spring there. So got a new one in here. I'm going to check for leaks, make sure those, where's that joker at? The O-rings, the coolant bypass, those tubes, hopefully they're not leaking. They didn't look that bad. I did put a dielectric grease before I put them in there because it sort of go in easier because they were dry, and I just don't want to go in dry with the rubber. We're going to see how well those hold up. I'm going to take this on a test drive, pull out my scan tool, show you some PID data, and see how well this car is now sustaining its temperature. You just gotta take my word for it. But when I start driving before, the temperature would go from 220 while stationary down to 170 degrees. And it was a cool day, so it should be able to hold itself. And that's what this is. It keeps that temperature at 200 degrees plus, or whatever this is designed to hold itself at. So once it hits a particular temperature, then this spring will start collapsing and opening up this valve here. So let me get this air out of the system. Let me take it on a test drive, and I'll show you some information. That hose leaking. The one at the top, this one right here, I got to put an O-ring on there. This was the trouble towel. I had trouble getting that one out, so I'm going to have to change the O-ring. Slight inconvenience. Now I can understand why it's a good idea to replace the O-ring. So, but I have some universal set of O-rings laying around, and that is taken care of. I'm just going to let it idle and build up pressure in the cooling system, and I'll recheck it. If I can get the steering wheel to go straight. Okay, here we go. So when I was driving it, it stayed at 199 while cruising. Right now it's about 65 degrees outside, and this is definitely performing a lot better, staying over 180 degrees. unlike the previous thermostat. So we're good with that. It's unfortunate that I did not change the O-ring, and I didn't take a video of it, but it was like a little nick on the one that I had trouble pulling out. The other one works fine. It's just that one that I had trouble extracting. It wound up putting a groove in it, and just it was leaking. It was pouring out. You saw it. So we're fixed now. I don't know if I have anything else to contribute to this. The labor time that I saw for changing the thermostat gasket was 1.5 hours. The directions to remove it and replace it wasn't clear at all. It just showed you a diagram of how to remove the diagram of the thermostat. That's it. It didn't say remove X, Y, Z, or any type of strategic order of procedural removal. So figured it out. Worked out. I still managed to do it within an hour, I would say, and here we are. Hey, if anything happened, I'll definitely update. I have nothing else to contribute, honestly, to this repair. It was pretty much cut and dry. Remove and replace the thermostat. Hopefully this definitely will help somebody out, and just working that thermostat housing out in a particular fashion where you can pull it out. So hopefully that's pretty good detail. I got as close as I could and was as patient as I could recording it. If anything happened, I'll definitely update. Hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, how to reach some of my work. See you on the next one.